Hey, my third grade mathematicians. Today we are going to continue to learn about fractions on the number line. We are learning to place any fraction on a number line with endpoints 0 and 1. This is a review of what we were doing when we ended in March. So let's begin with our problem of the day. You have this problem of the day in your packet. So find that in your packet and let's read it together. Everyone ready? Read. In baseball, it is about 30 yards from home plate to first base. The batter got tagged out about halfway to first base. About how many yards from home plate was he when he got tagged out? Draw a number line to show the point where he was when he got tagged out. Now, I want you to tell a friend what this problem is about. Tell a friend. Yes, this is about someone that's playing baseball. He was running from, or she was running from home plate to first base and they got tagged out. So what information is important in this story? It's important that it is about 30 yards from home plate to first base. That's important. And it's also important that the batter got tagged out about halfway to first base. So what are we trying to find out? We're trying to find out about how many yards from home plate was he when he got tagged out. Now, it tells us to draw a number line, so on your paper, I want you to draw a number line. And let's remember that we need to label our number line with the endpoints 0 and 1. So let's put our endpoint here, and let's put our other endpoint here, and let's label them 0 and 1. So it says that the batter got tagged out about halfway. So I want you to put a tick mark where halfway would be on that number line. Remember, if it is halfway, then we have two equal parts. So that would be about halfway. So if we started out here at 0 yards, and when we got here, it was 30 yards, then we know that he got tagged out right here, which was halfway. So how many yards was he from home plate? This was home plate, and this was first base. About how many yards was he when he went from home plate and was tagged out halfway? We know that if we have 30, we can divide 30 by 2, and that will give us half of 30. So 30 divided by 2 is what? Yes, it is 15. So he was about 15 yards from home plate when he got tagged out. I want you to write a complete sentence on your paper telling me that he was about halfway when it was about 15 yards from home plate when he got tagged out. Excellent job. And if you need to stop and pause for a minute, pause and finish up and write your complete sentence. So today, as I said, we are learning to place any fraction on a number line with the endpoints of 0 and 1. We are continuing our learning from yesterday. So in your journal, on the next page, you have a blank page that I put there for you to do your work for the problems on your screen. So I want you to draw a number line in your packet on the blank page that I gave you. Now I want you to look at this fraction, 2/3. Look at this fraction. How many equal parts are in the whole? Yes, there are 3 equal parts in the whole. Now, how many of those equal parts have been counted? Yes, 2 of those equal parts have been counted. Now let's count up to 2/3, starting at 1/3. Ready, go. 1/3, 2/3. Now, I want you to draw a 2-part number bond, and if you look, I have drawn one right here for you. Here's a 2-part number bond. And I want you to put one hole, because we are working with one hole. And on one part, I want you to put 2/3. So this part, I want you to put 2/3. Sorry, mine won't go inside the circle. Now, so you've put 2/3 in that part. So what is our unknown part? What is the unknown part? If this is 2/3 right here, and we know we have one hole, what is the unknown part? So if I have 2/3, I know that one hole would be 3/3. So I need to go from 2/3 to 3/3. So let's do that. Ready? 2/3, 3/3. So how many thirds did I have to add? I added 1/3. So the unknown part is 1/3. So go ahead and fill that in your number bond. So now we are ready to draw the endpoints on our number line. So I want you to label your endpoints 0 and 1. So we have 0 and we have 1. So label those endpoints. And I want you to put 0/3. Go ahead and write 0/3. And over here, I want you to write 3/3. 3/3. Now let's mark off our number line into thirds. So if we're marking it off into thirds, we need 3 equal parts. So let's put a line here and a line here. So we have 1, 2, 3 equal parts. Take your finger and start at the beginning where you have 0/3, and I want you to just slide your finger and let's count those parts. So we have 1/3, 2/3, 3/3. Very good. Now I want you to plot 2/3 on that number line. So we have 1/3, 2/3. So we're going to plot 2/3 right here. So let's make a dot and let's write 2/3. All right, mine is not looking so great. I know yours is looking much better than mine is. Now, if I'm right here for 2/3, I'm going to slide on over, and how many more thirds did I have to slide? Yes, 1/3, and that is what we put in our number bond on the other page. We put 1/3. We had 2/3 here and 1/3 there, and we know this was one whole, and one whole is equal to 3/3. Excellent job. I love the way you're working with me. Okay, let's keep going. Let's look at another one. So this time, my fraction is 3/5. 3/5. Okay, so write that down. How many equal parts are in the whole? Yes, there are 5 equal parts in the whole. How many of those equal parts have been counted? 3 of those equal parts have been counted. Now let's count up to 3/5, starting at 1/5. Ready? Go. 1/5, 2/5, 3/5. So in your number bond, I want you to put one whole, and then in this part, I want you to write 3/5. Okay? What is the unknown part? If I have 3/5 and I have to go up to 1 whole, which would be 5/5. What is my unknown part? Let's draw a number line and figure that out. So label your number line with endpoints 0 and 1. And we need to partition this number line into 5 equal parts. So let's do that. There's 1 part, 2 parts, 3 parts, 4 parts, and 5 parts. So let's start here and let's label 3/5. So let's start right here at 0 and let's move 1/5, 2/5, 3/5. So right here we have 3/5. So let's label that 3/5. Now let's slide the rest of the way and see how many more fifths there are. We know that each part is 1/5. Each part represents 1/5. So let's keep going. 1/5, 2/5. So if we continue to go on that number line, we would have 2/5 more. So 3/5 plus 2/5 equals 1/5. Equals 1 whole, which is 5/5. Okay? Excellent job. Keep up the good work. Okay. So now we have some practice here. We're going to practice a little bit before you do your own work. So let's look here. It says to estimate and label the given fractions on the number line. So this right here is the given fraction. It's 1/3. So I have labeled 1/3 right here. There's 1, 2, 3 parts. So we would go 1/3, 2/3, 3/3. So 1/3 is here. I put that on my number bond. Now how many thirds do I have to go to get to 3/3? So we have 1/3, 2/3. So 2/3 more to get to 1 whole. Let's do the same thing with 3/6. So we know that this would be labeled 0/6, and this would be 6/6, which is 1 whole. So let's make our number bond. This would be 1 whole. This would be 3/6 because that's where we're starting. So 3/6 here. And we need to figure out what the other part would be. So let's partition this into 6 equal parts. So we have 1, 6, 2, 6, 3, 6. So we're going to plot 3/6 right here. Now how many more 6 until we get to 1 whole? 1, 6, 2, 6, 3, 6. So my other part would also be 3/6. 3/6 plus 3/6 equals 1 whole. Excellent job. If you want to do the last one, you can do that one by yourself on your paper. All right, so what you're going to do now is you're going to play a game called Fraction Matchup. It is the next page in your packet. You have 2 pages that one has fraction strips, the other one has number lines. You're going to cut both of those out on the dotted lines, and then you're going to play a matching game. So you're going to turn them all over, turn the number lines over in one place, turn the fraction strips over in another place, and turn 2 up and see if you get a match, and continue until you've made all of the matches. After you do that, you're going to write a reflection about how that game went. You're going to tell me what math skills you needed to play the game, and what patterns you noticed, and what numbers you used, and what questions you had when you were playing the game. Then turn it over, and there's about 3 more questions I want you to answer. After you've played the game, I want you to complete all the 4 problems on the first page of your worksheet, and then choose either problem 2 or 3 on the back. If you need any help, call me. I will be more than happy to help you and walk you through any of this. Watch the video as many times as you need to in order to do this work.